Hey guys, happy Friday! Thanks so much for coming in tonight. Thank you, replay viewers, for being here. And thanks, YouTube viewers, for being here. If you're watching on YouTube and would like to watch live with me here and be included in the chats, download the Periscope app to your phone and search for Penguin and Fish. I'm here every night at 9:30 p.m. Central. Thanks so much for coming in, guys. We are continuing on block 34 of the Splendid Sampler Lemonade. So we got our haswork triangles done, and I'm ready to get ironing. I'm going to flip you guys around, and we'll get going. Hey guys, happy Friday. Hope you all are doing well. So here is the pattern. We are continuing with block 34, this cute little lemon in the middle there. It's going to be super fun. I think we're going to actually get to the curves on the lemon today, so I'm excited about that. If you want to learn more about the Splendid Sampler, you can go to thesplendidsampler.com. It's a huge quilt along, and new blocks are released every Thursday and Sunday. So we got this block yesterday, and I think we got pretty far. You know, it was the first time we've cut something in a long time, and yesterday I was talking about how I thought it was maybe 3 or so blocks since we've done like any major cutting, and I think it's been more like 6 or 7 blocks, which is just kind of crazy. It felt weird using my ruler and my rotary cutter. All right, guys, I am going to flip you around in just a bit, and we'll get going. If you're new here, my name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we create lovely and quirky hand embroidery patterns and kits. I'm the author of Sew and Stitch Embroidery and a fabric designer as well. And I'm here every night at 9:30 p.m. Central. Thanks so much for coming in tonight, guys. We just like chit-chatting and hanging out here. So I'm going to flip you around and we'll get going. Let me know what you're working on tonight. Hot in Florida. Yeah, it was hot here today. It was in the high 90s today. I actually went outside for a good portion of the first part of the day, but whew, then we had to go in and get the air going. All right, I'm going to flip you around. Here we are. I got my pile of half square triangles. It was breezy, but it's the humidity. It was around 96 or so today. But you know, with 100% humidity, it feels like a heat index or whatever they said was kind of around like the 104 mark or something like that, which is whew, crazy. Yeah, super humid. Bright, sunny blue sky today. All right, we're going to get going right away. I'm going to start pressing these. It says to press to the dark side, so that is exactly what we do. I'll tilt you up to my iron here. Alrighty. Oh no, I am in Minnesota, so way north of Florida, and yes, it gets that hot here in Minnesota. A lot of people don't know that. I mean, we get extreme heat and extreme cold here. It's just not forever. I know, for pressing to the dark side. I know, we totally do. Alright, I think we just have, we have like 12 of these guys, so let's just cruise through them. We're going to trim these down, and then we'll get going on the curved piece. But yeah, getting these guys done. After the curved pieces are done, and then all we have to do is put the whole thing together, so that's kind of exciting. You don't get that hot very often. Through the summer we do. It's kind of, it can fluctuate, like in June. Here, it could get up to, you know, the 90s like it was today, but it could also get to, I mean, it could technically get to be like freezing or close to freezing. You know, like it could get in the 40s in June sometimes too. It's such a fluctuating month. It's just kind of crazy. But yeah, we get, I mean, it's not for like months and months and months, but you know, June through August could very likely be extremely hot. Oops, I wanted to do this side. It changes day by day, and every year is totally different. Does setting the seam make a difference when pressing? I don't know. I just kind of that's just how I was taught, I guess, to just, you wanna steam it first. I think it kind of loosens, or just, it does something to the thread, like it sets the thread first, and then you can do your normal bit. But it's something about setting the thread. I don't know, maybe someone here knows what's the reason for pressing a seam before, doing much with it. It's something about setting the seam. I don't know. I'm going to have to look it up, but that's a good question, Anthea. The heat's there awful by you guys. And we don't have our air conditioning quite right yet, so it gets so cold. Oh, it melts the threads to fabric. Okay, that sounds good. Just because you're supposed to. The thread sinks into the seam. Okay, Diane, that's what I had in my head. The thread sinks into the seam. And, okay, so it helps the accuracy. I know there's some purpose to it. I might have to do a little bit more research on that. Get some science behind it or something. Especially with these little pieces. Okay, that's good to know. It sets the seam and helps with accuracy, especially for these little pieces. That's good enough for me right now. Ooh, this is steamy though. It's warm. But yeah, I was thinking, when we heard that it was going to be so hot today, I was thinking, oh man, I'm going to be stuck inside the whole day. But we actually got out in the morning and worked on, avoids the cold leaves, there you go. But we got out in the morning and worked on the garden. Oh, yeah, so when my parents and my brother and his girlfriend were in town yesterday, that was still yesterday, right? Sunday, no. Jeez, my days are all messed up. Thursday. Yeah, so they were here yesterday. And my parents hadn't seen our garden yet. So we went out there, and I had gone out there earlier, and, it was fine and whatever. And I went out there later in the day with my parents, and all our kale in the garden was gone. Just straight up gone out of the entire garden. And we're like, oh my God, my kale's gone. And so some rabbit or something got in there sometime during that afternoon, since I had already been out looking at it, and got all of our kale. Left the tomatoes, left the peppers, but ate all of the kale. So this morning, when it was still not totally hot, I mean, by 9 o'clock this morning, it was already 80 degrees. So it was still pretty dang steamy. But we got out and trimmed some trees and used the branches from the trees to reinforce our garden a little bit. Our fence around the garden, I think they kind of jumped and it flopped over, and they were able to get in and eat, or it might have just been one, ate every single piece of kale. But I saw some of them had teeny tiny little leaves on today, so just a day later, it looks like they're gonna come back a little bit, I'm hoping. So I don't know, we'll see. We'll have to see if the kale comes. Yeah, we don't have any deer. Well, we do have deer. I know that there are deer in town, but I've never seen any by us. We're not really in the country. Every once in a while, you'll hear someone saying that, oh man, a deer went through the yard, but that's not very, as common as all the bunnies, I guess, by us. By, my immediate area, at least. So, no deer, but, oh man, bunny got in there or something. So we put a ton more sticks. It was kind of like a floppy fence, and we put a lot more sticks around, so now it stands up a lot straighter. So, okay, so it says to trim the half square triangle units to 2-inch by 2-inch squares. So that's what I'm going to do now. I have a little diagonal on my ruler here, which is awesome. I'm going to line up that diagonal with a diagonal here, and I'm going to trim. So we do have enough to trim it down to 2. Sometimes it gets real close, and you're just you're just measuring to make sure that it's 2 inches, but they gave us a little extra, which is great on these half square triangles in case you mess up and stuff. It's nice to have this little extra. So I'm going to trim down the one side and then flip and trim down the other. And we'll just go through this stack. But man, being outside in that sun, that just, it kind of wipes you out. Like we were super tired this afternoon again. I think from soaking up all that humidity and sun, or I don't know. So by making these 2 inches, we're gonna match our 2 inch pieces that we've cut out already. Dang rabbits. We have another small garden with a bunch of other stuff in though, and they didn't get in there, so that's good. Oh yeah, good suggestion, Martha. I'm gonna definitely have to have more water after this for sure. I actually just got up from a nap, and I never take naps, so that's like totally weird. I'm a little groggy. I just we had dinner and stuff, and I was just like, I'm so tired. So I laid on the couch for a half hour or so. But that's like super rare for me to take naps. Oh, they really make you drink at work? That's good. Yeah, I have to get better at it again. I'll go into these stints where I'm super duper good, and I'll drink like, I don't know, 64 ounces of water a day or whatever. But then I'll go into these bouts where I hardly drink at all, so it's bad. I gotta definitely get in the practice again. I think I will do that tomorrow, and you guys can yell at me if I didn't drink water enough tomorrow. That would be good. I like these little blue ones together here. Oh, Sari's being a jerk butt again today. That's funny. I wonder if they did an update or something and the update's no good. And I always forget that this is a part of the process, you know, cutting all these little pieces. Oh, I definitely will. I will drink some tonight for sure. But you think you're going to do these half square triangles and whip right through it, but then it's like, oh, I have to trim them and stuff too. It all takes little bits of time. So I worked on my next fabric collection today, which I'm super excited about. I painted a little, so that's why I got some ink on my hands for that. But I'm excited for that. So once I get a little farther, maybe I'll have to share a little bit of it, or I don't know if I'm allowed to do that, but I'll share a little sneak peek or something. I'm excited to get working on that again. It's nice to spend the day painting stuff and drawing stuff. It was refreshing. I kind of stayed away from... I actually put my phone in a different room. Because over the past month or something, I feel like I've been checking my phone, like checking, Facebook and Instagram and stuff, just more and more. Just as almost like a habit. Like I'll work for 10 minutes and then as a habit, I'll have to check my phone or something, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta break it. It's totally, I can feel it as a habit. And so I left it in the other room today, and that seemed to help keep me focused, so that was nice. if I had one of those spinny cutting boards, this would probably be a little quicker, I'm thinking. My mom had one of those spinning ones. Yeah, definitely nice to be disconnected for a little while. Man, that's tough though. It's tough to just disconnect. And the thing is, when I'm doing work stuff, it involves internet and all that stuff, so I have to actively not click certain websites, and I don't know. My willpower lasts only so long during the day, too. If I was working on a bigger project, I probably wouldn't bother even doing this trimming, because, you know, I don't know. I don't need to have perfection in my quilting all the time. If this was a bigger block or just something for me or whatever, I probably would have just sewn all these half square triangles together and been done with it. But since these blocks are so small and there's a lot of pieces, all these tiny, tiny little bits that I'm cutting off add up real quick. So I'm really making sure I'm as accurate as I can on these Splendid Sampler blocks. I've learned that at least, because my first several blocks were way off. So it's kind of... Oh, meditative. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely meditative to be precise sometimes. And that's like this. Like, this is, you know, I was saying, you know, I forget that this is actually part of it and it takes time, but this like little trimming. But when you accept it as part of the process, you can just relax and do it a little bit. So if you go into this without, you know, thinking about enjoying the process and enjoying the monotonous motions, like, you know, these two motions together a bunch of times, if you get used to that and don't think about like, oh man, I need to get this done and whatever, and, you know, if you just think about the part that you're doing and relax into it, then it's just really meditative. What? What, Martha? Funny. Alright, I think I just have 2 more here. Oh, you found some scraps. Scraps for this project? Alright. Man, I turned the air off. Oh, you're quilting. I'm glad I only had to make... Yeah, you know, a lot of people are making more... Well, I don't know a lot of people, but it seems like on the Facebook page that there's several people making more than one, and woof, wow, that's pretty awesome, because I know some of these were really tough for me, and it would be hard for me to do more than one, you know, I mean, I think I'm officially 6 behind now. If you don't include this one, I have 6 that I am not done with yet, so if I had to do a whole nother quilt of these, man, I'd be way behind. Some of these blocks are really nice, though. I get that if you really like one. Oh, yeah, you might be. Exactly, I totally agree. There's a couple blocks that I would love to do as a little baby quilt, like a bunch of them of the same block together. I think that would be really, really neat. I forget which one it was, but there's one in particular that I just think would be so cute in baby fabric. Oh, I'm done. I was about to grab these to cut more, but that's it. So, all right, let's move these scraps, and let's move on. Okay. So next is the circle curved units. So let's take a look at that. To create curved units, pair each yellow... Oh, wait, you know what? We got to cut them out first, because I skipped that earlier. Cut out template A, 2 yellow fabric. Cut 2 template A's from 2 yellow fabric C's, the 2-inch squares, and cut 2 templates B. Okay, got that. So, all right, I printed a couple copies just so I could have one to cut out and one that I use just as a record. I'll keep this one as a record. This one I'll cut out. some things to notice on here is that it has these little tick marks that are really kind of difficult to see. That's the center point, I'm thinking, but you got to kind of extend it here. I don't think like one was on this part and one was on the seam allowance. I think that's a mistake. I think it should both be on the seam allowance or both on here. So I'm just doing that. So how these were originally created is, if you haven't done curves before, how these were originally created was they just took, let me measure to make sure, but 1.5. Oh, interesting. The seam allowances are in already. Oh yeah, so we want to end up with a 1.5 inch square when it's finished and sewn in. So they took that 1.5 inch square and then just did an arc like that, and then cut those pieces apart. So this would be piece A and piece B, and then added the seam allowance around it. So that's how this was created, these shapes. So all right, I'm gonna cut these out, and we'll translate them. You should have templates with seam allowance. Yeah, so that's what these are. These are the templates. So I'm gonna just trim them out. I like having a copy of the pure pattern, so that's why I printed out two versions of this page, and then the one that I cut up. I kind of like having both around, just so I can refer to what the original design was. All right, so there's piece 1. Oh, you do too. Just darkened and traced. Oh, that's a good idea. You know what? Maybe I should have done that. Well. Just traced it right through the fabric. I think my fabric's light enough this time that I could have done it, but oh well. I'm cutting now already. But yeah, that's a good idea. So I don't do curved seams all that often, and it's something that I'd like to do more of. The fact that these are so small scares me a little bit, but I think we're going to be fine. Your work is careful as the... Oh, seems sucky. All right. Let's finish this up. Man, I could not believe I took a nap this afternoon. That just does not happen. And it's funny, I was just talking about not taking naps with my mom and stuff when she was in town, and then I took a nap. I've been downloading the PDF to my email. The square will be, so the square will be 2 inches, but once it's sewn into everything, it'll end up being a 1.5 inch square. All right. Oh, you hand piece the curves. Oh, that's interesting. That's not a bad idea. That'd be kind of fun. I haven't hand pieced pieces before. I haven't hand pieced a quilt block really, unless it was English paper piecing. But it'd be fun to sew together square pieces and stuff. I think that'd be neat. Okay, here we are. All right, we need. Let's read it again. Oh wait, I gotta cut it out of the squares yet too. So A is my white fabric. So those are the skinny shapes, the concave ones. So all right, these are the white ones. So I'm gonna cut these out of this, and then I just need 2 of these units, and then the other 2 will be put aside. The 2 units that I'm not cutting out are these 2 corner units that are just squares. Okay. So I think we'll just use my pencil here, like we did earlier. It just lines up here, and I'm gonna just trace that concave piece. So I'm just lining this up. There we go. Oh yes, it's lemon shaped. That's why it's called lemonade. At least that's what I figured, at least. All right, there's the one. So tiny with the pins. My machine didn't like it. Oh, hand piecing gave you better control. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's the thing. Whenever I'm sewing curves, I just feel like it's like I'm definitely not used to it. It's a lot of, oh, I didn't mark my seam allowance or my centerpiece. I gotta do that yet. But it bunches up. I mean, I'll show you. You'll see what I mean when I say it bunches up, because one side you bunch together and the other doesn't. Like you're turning this concave piece into a convex shape, which makes it all bunchy, and that to me on the machine feels unruly sometimes. So I can totally see the idea between or by hand piecing it. So what I did here is I just marked that center point in the seam there. So because that's what I'm going to match up to these. So okay, those are drawn. Let's draw the convex side. I always have to remember back to like science class in, I don't know, probably junior high when we learned what convex and concave are. And concave, I always have to think of concave before I can think of convex, because concave is inward like a cave. And then convex is just not inward like a cave, is what I have to remember. All right, there we go. There's the one. You have to think of that too, that's funny. All right. I put B on the bottom and A on the top. Oh, and tweezers to help hold them. Oh, that's interesting. I'm hoping, I'm thinking I'm thinking my stiletto will come in handy here. All right. Oops, I forgot to mark the center point again. And, so I'm marking it on the outside, but then I'm marking it on the inside too, because I'm going to actually cut that piece off, so I want to make sure that I can still see my point there. All right, done with that. Let's cut these out. I'll get the real scissors in here. Okay, let's cut these out. Oh, it's a method you saw on YouTube, no pinning. Oh, you didn't pin it all, and you just used oh, well, that's interesting. I'll have to look that up on YouTube. What did you just look up no pinning curved seams or something? When I'm uploading this video, I'll have to check it out. All right, there's one curve. What was the lady's? Oh, it's Diane Byatt. She's actually, I think she's in here right now. But yeah, she made a couple stilettos and sent them to me, and they're awesome. I've used them in like all of these. Oh, you looked up Drunkard's Path. Okay, and I'm guessing if I put no pin Drunkard's Path, I'd probably find something interesting. Well, I think we'll pin this time, but that's interesting. I definitely want to look that up. I'm hoping. Oh, you haven't seen the blue one? I think the blue one was hiding in my crafting to go case, and I brought it back out. All right, and this side. But yeah, so this is our first curved seam in the Splendid Sampler. So I'm hoping that there's more, because all this repetitive techniques and stuff that I'm learning. I mean, I'm learning more each time I do it. Like, especially the applique is a great example, because I've been doing different appliques for each time we do applique, or I'm just trying to push myself or something with each applique, with everything really, just trying to keep learning new things and stuff. And I'd love to try out some other ways to do curved seams, because that's something I don't do often. So I have a lot to learn, and I kind of like that. I like when I have a lot to learn. It's exciting. It's kind of fun. And speaking of a lot to learn, I got all my supplies for my painting class the other day, so I won't be here again on Monday. Well, actually, I was here last week. I don't think I'll be here on Monday because I have my painting class. We haven't done a bordello pattern yet. I don't even know what that is, Anthe. What's a bordello pattern? That sounds fascinating. All right, so here we are. We got our pieces. Oh, Bargello. Is it Bardello or Bargello? I don't know what either of those are. All right, Jello. Okay, autocorrect is straight up crazy tonight, I think. Bargello. Okay, there's been 2 Bargellos, so I'm thinking it's Bargello. I have no idea what that is, guys. You'll have to let me know. All right. Spelling, sorry. To create curved units, pair each yellow convex curve piece with a white concave curve piece right sides together. Angles of the curve should be going opposite directions. That's this image right here. Pin the center point, and that's where we're going to line up our little seam points. Pin the center point, followed by the right and left ends. Ease the remaining edges and pins. Stitch a quarter seam around allowance. We're going to do the scant quarter. Strips of squares at different lengths. Small pieces that are shifted. Oh, okay. I totally know what you guys are talking about. So you cut it, and that's where you get like those big kind of sweeping arcs that looked really pieced. I see what you're saying. That would be cool. But on a small scale like this, I don't think that would be that traumatic or difficult. I think it would be fun. Ooh, I don't know. That'd be neat. I have no idea if there's one of those in here. That would be fun to try for sure. All right, and then stitch the seam along. Okay, I think we got this. So here's the picture though. So it sounds like Bargello. Oh, that's hence why you said why the Jello. Okay, Bargello. Okay, that makes sense. Bargello. All right. So again, we just piece the first one, and then we piece the ends, and see it bunches all together because you're taking something that's curved in this direction and curving in that direction. So it will look like this all bunchy, and that's what we gotta really watch while we sew. All right, so let's do that. And man, you know what? I've definitely not sewn any or done any curves this little either. So first we're gonna match up our little tick marks that we've put there. Let me get my pins here. A puckered lemon, there you go. All right, let me match those up as best I can. I think that'll do the job, I'm thinking. Yeah, all right. So I'm going to pin that, and I'm going to pin it kind of where the seam allowance will be close to. There we go. All right, whew, these are really small, so let's see how well we do this here. So now we'll pin this end. Let's just try and do that. Okay, so my ends do not go all the way to the end, so that's fun. Yeah, good luck. I have a feeling I should have extended this a bit. Oh, you know what? I wonder if it would be a good idea for me to clip these, or I don't know. What do you guys think? Line up the seam, so just go around the seam and don't worry about matching up that last piece first, because I don't really want to stretch it. Stretch it so it's there, where the seam will be seen. So right there, run a couple of draw stitches. Okay, so we'll line it up where it's supposed to be sewn. Oh, so let's just like go to the end like this, you mean, and then ease the rest. Okay, yeah, because we're easing the rest. All right, let's do that. Lift up piece of lemon off cutting mat. Okay, dark line on template, cutting. So they'll pucker nice. Okay. So is this not good yet? Or just like this? Oh, and then we ease it. Oh, okay, yeah. This is feeling like it makes more sense. So, all right. Got it, guys. Take a tiny nip with the pin so the fabric can move. Yeah, middle ends and make it fit. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to kind of sew at a a curve like that. All right. This is feeling familiar to me again now. Okay, guys. So now I'll do the same thing on the other end. So I'm going to just kind of center this little bit here because we're going to ease this yellow fabric. So kind of getting that bunch in the middle. And we'll throw a pin there. All right. At kind of where we're going to sew it. So further in. Oh man, I couldn't imagine doing this for a whole quilt. Oops, missed my fabric. All right, and then easing the rest in there. So get another couple pins in there. So I'm kind of stretching it, and then it'll all come together once we're sewn. Yep, like a sleeve, which I've never actually done, but I just finished reading like a 60s. It was like from 60, I don't know, 65 or something, a garment sewing book, a vintage garment sewing book, and they talked all about easing. And I read the whole thing like it's a normal, like a novel. It's not a novel, but that's how I read it, just like every single page. And they talked a lot about easing. So, all right, there we go. We've eased this, the yellow area. So actually we'll kind of sew it kind of angled in like that. I'm gonna have to pull this fabric a little. So I want it to kind of be flat where I'm gonna sew my seam. I'm gonna redo this bit here. I don't want that big fold there. I think that would be something that I'd accidentally sew. So I'm gonna add 2 pins there. Yeah, that's how you know you're really a crafter, when you read like vintage sewing books like they're novels. All right, here we are. I think this will be a little bit better. There was just like one little fold in there that I thought I'd maybe accidentally sew. So, all right, there. I mean, that's a lot of pins, right? But here, let me get in focus up here close. But that's, we've pinned it about kind of where we're going to sew and, ease this back a little bit. I think we'll be fine. So now we got to do the rest. Yeah, small pieces, giant pins. I know this is just kind of crazy. But all right, let's make it work over here too. Wow, this would just... for bigger curves though, I mean, this I think would be much easier to do. Like if this is a big quilt, I think it'd be kind of fun. But man, yeah, this is definitely something I do not do that often. So yeah, so bring on more curves, Splendid Sampler. That's what I think, because I need practice. Stay or draw stitching. I don't know, I'm not sure what that means. Way easier with bigger pieces, yeah. So I'll definitely back tack these. All right, get up a little higher there. All right, so I'm like putting the poof on each side about equal. Yep, somewhere folds of fabric. These are like little voodoo dolls. Funny. Okay. Get that guy in there. And oh man, this is just getting unruly. They make it easier than pins. Glad you only have 2 of these. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, so thanks for bearing with me while I put a bunch of pins in the fabric. All right, again, I gotta redo that one. Getting all jumbled up in here. So I could have done that whole easing thing. Maybe I'll try that with the second piece. That whole easing thing, the way that I learned in that 60s craft book, where you do some stitches and then you pull them and then it matches up a little bit better. I'm going to give that a try. I've never done that before, and I think that might be helpful. Or draw stitches, make it easier than pins. Yeah, so let's try that. All right, this is going to be my last pin here. So this one we're doing this way. The other one I'm going to do that little, I'm going to hand stitch some back stitches through there and see how it goes. So, but this one will sew like this, and this one, I think, let's just give this a try. Let's grab a sewing needle. Any of these would work, but there we go. Let's use this one. And I got some thread here. Let's just give this a try. I've never done this before, guys, so we'll see how it goes. I'm just gonna grab a short little piece. So I'm gonna just do like a back stitch through here. Not a back stitch, a running stitch. About, it's the seam allowance away. And then we will kind of stretch this, not stretch. Oh, the 2 parallel stitches. Yeah, I can do that. I could have done that on the sewing machine, I suppose, but I don't know. Where you stay stitch the one side, and then you do 2, and then you pull on it, and then you draw it. So that's kind of what I'm trying here, but in a hand-done way, I suppose. We'll see if it works this way. I didn't secure one of these ends though, so I don't know. I wonder what the best way of doing that would be. All right, we're just gonna do it like that. So this is like a ghetto way of doing this, but you could sew this on the machine and then do this pull thing. We're gonna try it this way. So all right, I'm gonna center this first. All right, there's on the line, and pin that. And then we're gonna just ease this a hair like that. Oh, I suppose this is, I know, they wrapped it around a pin and stuff, but we're gonna just do it this way. And I'm still gonna pin, but I got this little ease built in that I can pull on. See there, now it's wanting to line up a little bit better right away. Oops, let's pin on this side. There, that just kind of holds it together a little bit better than what I was doing before. So, oops, I didn't tie a knot on the other side, so it just keeps pulling through. But, that's the general idea here. This is, I think they, wrapped it around a pin to kind of lock it in place. There, now I can pull on it. All right, that'll do. Then we can add our pins. Pin into the fabric, figure 8 around. Okay, pin into the fabric. Oh, I see what you're saying. So figure 8. So like around, and then around, and then around. That's the figure 8. Okay, yep, that'll lock it in there. I tie a knot and pull the knot out when done. Oh, see, that's a smart idea too. Smart. See, that's why we need to have more curves, because I need to test all these again. I need to do this more. I'm going to be looking for the no pin on YouTube video. Yeah, no kidding, right? I will be looking for that as well. So I'll be YouTubing, searching for Drunkard's Path and no pinning curves. See what we get. Could you imagine having to do 100 of these, and if you pinned them all at once and had like 100 of these pokey things everywhere? That'd be crazy. All right, let's do this side. Let's get another pin there. Ooh, I definitely have some bent pins in there. That one's going away. As I pull out pins, I'm trying to get rid of my my overly bent ones. Sick of finding those in here. All right, we're getting there, people. I'm guessing that the more you do this, the faster and easier it is. You're purging as we speak. Nice. Oh, you're doing the shoes. Well, good work. That's intense stuff. Going through all that. Let's tug on that guy again. All right. Little bloop here doesn't want to flatten out very well. We'll go right in the center there. Ever since you said that, I'm finding tons of bent pins. Oh, funny. All right. I can feel it. We're almost ready to sew, people. I think this is going to be my last pin. Oh, she's going through her shoes. We've talked on here about the life-changing magic of tidying up book, and I'm kind of going through that slowly. And I think Cora has done that before too, and it sounds like she's going through her shoes. Ooh, I just totally frayed this up. Okay, so I'm gonna pull my little thread out, and we should be good to sew. This may not be perfect, but you know what? I'm gonna live with however this turns out. I'm hoping. So all right, let's go over to the machine. Oh, you read that? Yeah, I read that, and then the Spark Joy is her second book, and it's all about, you know, just keeping the things that bring you joy, and you know what? Bent pins do not bring me joy. Not at all. So, all right, hold your breath, everyone. We're starting. Okay, we'll keep that here. All right, definitely am getting my little stiletto here going. So I want to shoot for a scant quarter on this, so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to pull out the pins as I go. The second book is kind of more of the same, but like I wasn't going to start reading. I wasn't going to read it because I'm like, oh, it's just going to be the same stuff. I think I have to remove this pin to get started. I wasn't going to read it because I'm like, oh, it's just going to be the same. And it did touch on the same stuff, but I really actually enjoyed it. The Spark Joy one. So even if you've read the first one, the second one is still nice to read. Alright, I am removing pins as I go here. So I'm getting a little bloop here. I wanna take care of that before I get my before I sew over it, because I don't want a little seam. So I'm going super slow. All right, I'm actually going to lift up the foot to kind of get that fabric bunched up on the other side of the foot. There, so I just moved that over a little bit. I think I might be getting a little bit more than a scant quarter, which isn't good, so we'll see how it goes. Let's get both of these out. Yeah, I think stiletto is definitely a must here, for me at least. Alright, I think I'm gonna have to lift it up again soon to get a little bulk out of the way. There we go. This one I might not be able to get rid of real easy. We might have a little C or a little fold in here. Oh, maybe I got it. Maybe not. I think we're gonna live with whatever this is. Oh well. Looks like surgery more than sewing. I know, this is just kind of crazy. I've definitely not done a curve this small before. Oh, I did that too. Downsized the bed linens and towels and stuff. I just finally got rid of the ones that we didn't like, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna have to wash a little bit more often or something. Oh, I should have brought this other one up, but oh well. Oh, and I said I was gonna. Oh, I did back tack it still, I think. Okay. Oops, where's my little scissors? That would be a little bit better here. Okay. All right, let's see what this looks like, guys. So in theory, once we have it pressed, so you can tell I didn't do like the best job here. You know, I got, I don't know if you guys can see. I got some puckers in here a little bit, and but this should go out. Some of this should go out a little once I press it. You know what? I think maybe I'll press it before I go on to the next one. Yeah, it'll press out. So let's give that a try. I'm gonna just angle up here. We'll do this first, and then let me get you guys in focus. Once you clip it, oh yeah, I could clip it too. Do I need to clip it though? I don't know if I need to clip it. All right, so I'm going to, it'd be cool if I had like an angled thing. Oop, hold on, guys. I gotta go over the phone here. So I'm going to just press the seam a little bit here. Where is it puckered? Just take out some stitches. Yeah, I could do that. That's that sounds like a little more work than what I want to do. I think we'll get enough doing it this way. All right, it's starting to look all right, I think. I think it's a little maybe funny up here, but I think we're gonna just kind of deal. But this other side looks all right. You may have to click. Yeah, it's good enough. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so we're a little, okay, so that definitely helped. Let's get in focus here. So it is a little goofy right here. Like I'm not quite sure, like I sewed too much or something in the seam here. So there I might clip a little bit. You know what, that isn't like the end of the world for me. Oops, you guys can't see. So this I don't really mind. This will all, when we sew the seam allowance, that will kind of go away. It'll be just like a teeny tiny pucker. You're supposed to push the seam to the B side. Oh, really? How can that be? Really? It goes to this side? Oh, okay. Well, let's try that. Let me just see that. Push the stitch a corner. Oh, no, it says towards the yellow. So this is towards the yellow. So I think we're doing this right. Okay. I just want to get this little bit here. Try and work that out a little bit. This little side's a little goofy. Oop. Let's get you guys in focus again. There we go. And I'm not using steam either. Oh, so you know what? Maybe I should give this a little spray starch. And ultimately, this in theory will have to be 2 inches. So let's see how close we are to that. 2 inches. Yeah, we're maybe a hair shy down here. So this part down here is a little wonky, but I think we're just gonna deal. I'll just have barely any seam allowance there. But you know what? That's where I'm at right now. I'm gonna just give this one more press on the front here. I think I'm gonna even, you know what, I don't think I have any steam left in here, any water left in here. We'll just give that a press, and I'm gonna sew this other one, and see what we get. But yeah, so this one, I mean, this one's a little wonky. It'll go next to here. I think when it's finished, it'll be just fine. So they'll go together like that. Let's sew this other one. All right. So this is the first one. Oh, we did flip. Okay, I was a little worried that I might have swung you guys down too quickly there. Okay, I think I'll scooch over this way. There, then you can see the foot a little bit better there. Okay, let's try this again. But yeah, I definitely want more curves because, I need the practice. And, I feel like this is one of those things that once you do it, 50 times sort of thing, it's going to be like a second nature thing, and this will all be easy and make sense and be fun and whatever. So I think I want more. That's what I think. All right, let's remove that pin number 1. Actually, I'm already a little far over. Yeah, like half square triangles. Like once you get going and figure it out, it gets easier. And like half square triangles too, there's tons of way. The easement stitches, it works great on the pin to mark the center. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, so do the easing stitches from the center. That would make sense. And I think really pinning where the seam allowance is going to be is, I think, kind of a key thing for this. Oh, we're a little bright, aren't we? Here, let me try and get that. There, that's probably a little better for you guys. I've sewn a lot of stuffed animals, and this is a thing with stuffed animals too, like these different, you have to sew curves together, and so if you do stuffed animals, if you ever sewn stuffed animals, you'll deal with this sort of thing quite often, but man, I'm usually doing a little bit bigger stuff than this. You know what, I gotta tell you though, this one feels better already. I'm hoping this one turns out a hair better, although I'm seeing right now that we're not totally matched up at the end here. I'll have to, let's see if we can, we'll have to just stretch a little at the end. I mark the center 4th and pin the ends in the middle. Oh yeah, okay, that's good. Divide up the bits and then press them. Ooh, wow, I got some wacky seams. I can tell it at the top here are way weird, but again, we are going to live with however this turns out. I'm going to get rid of this pin right away too and just try and hold this here with the stiletto. There, this is kind of like the tweezers there. I'm holding the two ends together now with the stiletto. I almost need another stiletto, that's why tweezers would have worked well. There we go. All right. Let's backstitch a hair and see what we got. All right. So I have some wonkiness here. As far as seam, yeah, I mean, look, I'm like way far away from this seam, or like a large seam here and skinny here. But this one, I don't think oh, there's a little pucker, but I think I did better with the puckers and seams here. So let's do this one and see what we get overall here. Let's come over here. Yep, we'll press it out and see how it goes. And then I think we can lay these all out and we'll get a good sense of what this will turn out to be like. We will sew it all together tomorrow. So I'm glad we got this far tonight. This is the second one right here. So this is it. The second curve. Oh, this is the first one that I pinned though. So I think I did Yep, this is the one that I actually pinned, which took a little longer, I think. But you know what? I'm more used to that than the easing beforehand, so maybe that just worked out better for me a little bit. It does feel a little bit better. But yeah, that easing with the thread, I will I'll try that again, get better at that. I did not clip it. I don't really need to for this because it's easing it. I mean, it's going by itself flat over here. I mean, if this was I don't know, it's a little different when it ends up being flat like this. Like it's not stretching out, you know, when you turn something right side out. So it's staying flat here. I know I'm not explaining myself very well. But yeah, so you would have to clip this if this was like a stuffed animal that you sewed this way and has to bunch out this way. Then we'd have to clip it, but we don't really have to here. All right, this one's looking a little better. We do have some funniness. I think I'm gonna trim these down to, I don't know if I should trim them or not, to the 2-inch bit. Let's just lay it out here and see what we got. I mean, this one's definitely kind of wonky. Let's see how it lies in the 2-inch realm. Yeah, I mean, it's a little much here, and then it swoops in here. But if I pretend, you know, this might just be an 1/8 inch seam allowance, and then a 1/4 inch here when all's said and done. But here, let's just lay this out and see what we got. And same up here. We're just gonna have to have less of a seam allowance, and I'm just gonna live with that. Okay, this guy will go here, and then there. I think we'll be able to do that well enough. We'll just have to measure as we go. Here, let's put these together. So, yeah, we get to see what this looks like all together for the first time now. I'm excited. All right, let's look at this layout and keep going here. So the red guys go in the corner. And the green in here is this blue. So they both go up like that. Here's another red one. And the blue one goes this way. This way. I like that it's going to form this kind of square in the middle here. Is pretty neat. Yeah, so now when I'm laying this out, I'm just kind of looking at this diamond that's forming. Oops. This way. Oh, the white. Oh yeah, my white always has some pattern in. Yeah, just because I didn't pick any pure whites for when I was picking fabrics for this. So yeah, goes this way. Ooh, it's so light, this one. I haven't done one this light before. And you know what? This yellow is a lot more subtle than I thought it was going to be. I thought this would really pop, but the white is so, this like blue is so like contrasty that I think your eye kind of shoots towards that and it kind of missed this yellow. Yeah, this is very pastel compared to a bunch of my other ones. It's just kind of funny. But yay, so we got this for tonight. Yeah, I mean, these curves are not great. But you know what? We did it, and once we have them sewn in here, it's going to be just fine. The thing I do want to make sure when I do sew them in is that my seam, that I have to hit this point on my seam. So like, you know, so here's the, you know, 1/4 inch this way and a 1/4 inch this way. I have to make sure that I sew right through here to make it match up so it doesn't jump. So I don't have like a curve and then it jumps up like this so it doesn't look like how it looks right now unsewn. And we'll talk about that more tomorrow. That's just the thing I'm going to have to really watch while I sew this together because that's the thing that will be noticeable. But I think after that we can push and pull a little bit to get it to the 6.5 inches. But all right, yay! That was pretty good tonight, guys. I'm happy with how this is looking. But man, whew, I need practice on those curves. So all right, I'm gonna flip you around. Thanks again, guys. That was fun. It's always a surprise what it turns out. Like once you actually see all the colors next to each other, and it's gonna look even more different tomorrow, I think. You know what? I really hope we can sew this all in one sitting. I don't know. It's kind of a lot of pieces yet. We'll see. But we're shooting for finishing this up tomorrow because then Sunday is new block day. I still think it'd be funny if we got English paper piecing. I don't know what it's gonna be, but that'd be hilarious because we did talk that we haven't done curves or English paper piecing yet. So we got curves immediately after. So let's see, maybe English paper piecing will be next. That'd be hilarious. But all right, guys, we will sew this up tomorrow at 9:30 Central, and the replay of this will be online tomorrow on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies, and I'll post it in the Facebook page for the Splendid Sampler's Facebook page tomorrow morning as well. So have a great evening, guys. Enjoy your weekend. See ya.